What's up, you guys?
Hi, guys.
We're here today for another episode of Coffee
Adventures.
And Coffee Adventures, if you guys remember, we are trying new coffee contraptions, and we're
Different flavors of coffee.
trying to get creative with it. If you guys remember last time we were here, we went to one of our favorite spots in Los Angeles, Regent Coffee, and they had a very, 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 very interesting coffee that I don't think we've ever tried anything that tastes like this. This is whiskey barrel aged brandy
Bottega
washed. Just the name itself, it kind of sparked our interest, but when we tried it, it straight up tastes like you're drinking like smooth, super smooth whiskey.
Yeah, so let's read so we ended up buying the coffee itself. We bought 2 bags. We're not going to use this one. We're going to use the one that wasn't whiskey aged, because we want to try and get inspired by that. But it says long-lasting and complex whiskey flavor melds with the Burundi profile perfectly to create a strong and balanced cup, advocative of an old-fashioned. It really was kind of.
We're not going to be able to get that flavor unless we actually use that coffee, but we thought that might be kind of boring because that's not what we do. That's what they did.
Yeah.
So we're gonna actually use the other coffee that they have. This is the same coffee as that, just not whiskey barrel aged. And
we had to put it in a jar because we accidentally tore the bag because we got so excited.
We're gonna be making it with a Chemex, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it over to our little contraptions that we created. About a couple months, it was like 3 months ago.
About 3 months ago.
We decided to make our own bitters using lots of different herbs and spices.
Mainly flowers. Well, I use flowers.
Flowers,
Vince
barks, seeds, and we made bitters. And we mixed it with alcohol, and it's been sitting here for 3 months, and now we have bitters.
We have not tried it yet, but this is where we will try it.
So our choice for today, this is a flowery one. This is like a more traditional bitters, and this is a
something Vince made.
Chai / pho seasoning flavored bitters.
Yeah, so we decided we're gonna use this one.
So it's got cinnamon, it's got star anise, it's got cardamom, clove. I might have put fennel in there.
It's been quite a few months. I don't see any fennel. I just see what you just said only.
Yeah, pretty much seasonings that you'll see in pho or also in chai, which is the same if you guys don't know.
And if you've ever tried like chai coffee or chai lattes and you throw like a shot of espresso in it, chai and coffee goes really well together, so that's why we decided to use this one.
So we're gonna do a quick smell and taste test of this.
We haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, it's just, we're assuming it tastes good, but we don't know. It smells.
Ready?
Let's see.
Ooh.
It smells like
I just mainly smell cinnamon. Ooh. It's really dumb. It smells like pho. It actually does.
How are we gonna, you gonna put it on the spoon?
Yeah. I don't know how else.
Alright.
Let's do a little bit. You wanna try it first?
Sure.
You want me to try first?
Whoa. You wanna try it first?
Okay. Whew. It's really strong. Ooh. I don't think we need that much in our coffee.
Woo. That tastes like Icelandic alcohol or something.
Oh yeah, it does.
Well,
I got numbingness in my tongue.
That tastes like, I don't know. Straight up alcohol. But we'll try it.
I mean, we could have done it the easy way where we just put a shot of whiskey in our alcohol, and that would have been pretty easy. But because we had these bitters, and we didn't know what we were going to do with it yet, and Vince's tongue is numb, mine is too.
It might be good because it has the flavor, and then when you put the coffee, it'll dilute it. Okay, you guys, so we're going to measure out 34 grams of this Burundi coffee. Using the most sanitary of techniques, of course.
Of course, Vincanity and his very sanity.
They call
sanitary
me
ways.
in the sanitation department. They call me Vincanity. Oh, we need one more bean.
One more.
Oh, that was 2.
Whoa, 34.0. Wow.
We're gonna take this and we're gonna put it in our Encore grinder. So typically when you grind the coffee for a Chemex, they do 21. That's just kind of like the textbook reference, but I like to do it a little bit finer, so I'm gonna go to 17, 19, 18, 17. This kind of just lets a little bit more of the sediments go through, and it lets more of the oils go through, and in turn it's just a little bit more bolder, more flavorful. And here we have our beautiful, beautiful coffee that I'm gonna put in here. Wow.
And if you look at the grinds itself, that's like about the size and the shape that you want it. Some people will say like coarse salt or coarse cracked black pepper, but sometimes I'm like, what does that even mean? I need to see something as a reference, so that's a good reference for you.
So at Regent, they actually use this, which is a V60. Just personal preference, we just like the Chemex. It kind of gives a really clean and flavor profile that we like. We also, instead of using the paper filters, we actually have a cone filter. It's just a little bit more eco-friendly.
Oh, yeah.
And also because it's not paper, it lets a lot of the oils and sediments go through, which makes really beautiful coffee.
So we heat it up. It's at about 206, and then you just let it cool down for a little bit. And then you zero out the coffee and everything that's in here, so we tiered it. Then start the timer first, or?
Yeah, start the timer.
Start the timer.
And what we got to do first is bloom the coffee, and you're just gonna do it very lightly. Try not to hit the filter at all.
Jeez.
And you only want to do 50 grams about.
But you want to
Sees a
get
little
all
bit.
of the grounds.
And boom, you're done.
Okay, so right at about 50, and then you want to time for what, 45 seconds, or do you do longer or less?
On this part I kind of don't do it super exact, but I usually just let it run for 1 minute. So I actually, when I bloom the coffee, I go even slower, so that it's like 30 seconds, and then by 1 minute it's fully bloomed. Or you could just watch it and see it creates this like bubble.
Dome.
When the bubble bursts, then it's pretty much ready.
I think it already burst.
Now what we're gonna do is kind of pour it slowly in a circle, and
You're supposed
basically
to break up the cake, right?
one thing that I try to do is aim for like anything that doesn't look smooth, so like this like middle portion, and when you see like bubbles, I try to pop the bubbles.
How much am I supposed to pour to?
Kind of like a fun game. Let's just go to 150 right there, and then I just let it sit. And it's this is called pulse pouring. Some people just keep pouring the whole time, but that one's kind of hard because you don't want it to get super high. Our goal is to basically have a consistent extraction of the coffee.
Do you remember what the total goal is supposed to be, like 400?
It's supposed to be 450, but I usually like it a little bit bolder, so I just do 400.
Okay, so it's right about the area where it's starting to flatten out. So I'm just gonna start pouring again.
Yeah, and you don't want it to actually flatten out, because it kind of like it almost like resets and you have to rehydrate it again. When it's like this, it's a lot easier to pour.
How much am I pouring to?
Let's go to 250, just like increments of 100.
And then you'll notice that this pour itself is going to be in total roughly 4 minutes too. But that just gives it so that it gives it enough time to extract, and it's extracting slowly this whole entire 4 minutes of water to coffee. Oh, see? And then it starts to go faster towards the end.
Yeah, and that's kind of where the time will.
Do I just go to
change.
400 now?
Yeah, I think just go all the way to 400, but go slower though.
So this is where a gooseneck kettle comes in handy. Make it a little bit more precise. It makes it so that you can control the water a little bit easier, even though I'm still having somewhat of a hard time controlling it, because I don't do this that often. Vince does it much more than I do.
From here, we pretty much just let it sit and drip. It usually will take another minute to complete. So if you notice that already took us 4 minutes and 30 seconds, which is roughly the time for a pour over. So while we're waiting for this to finish dripping, you kind of just let it like all kind of go out, and even in those last moments, you still see like flavorful coffee come out in those drips.
Flavorful.
If you just see like clear drips, then maybe it's too much water. We're gonna go and measure out our bitters. This is an experiment. This is our first time making bitters and even making coffee like this. So let's start off with a very moderate amount. We have these cute things.
They're called measuring spoons.
Measuring spoons. What should we start with?
Half a teaspoon.
Yeah.
That's the small tea without a B. Okay, this is a tablespoon. This is a teaspoon.
Okay.
We'll use half of a teaspoon.
We were gonna filter it, but I don't think we need to.
I think all the things settled to the bottom again already.
So here is half a teaspoon.
Shoop. Wow, look at the color. It's so pretty.
Oh, it's kind of reddish.
Yeah. What did you put in there? Cinnamon made it red?
Maybe the star anise.
It's a really pretty color.
This is what the filter looks like after everything's dripped. Usually there's a little bit more coming out, but we pretty much got it all. So I'm gonna set it to the side. So if you guys have ever used a Chemex, you'll notice that there is a brown thing here, which is to protect your fingers from getting burned. But because I don't have that, I have this glove, also known as an oven mitt. I'm gonna very carefully grab this, and I like to give it a little swirl so it can look like you're a real chemist. And go ahead and pour our beautiful, beautiful coffee.
All done.
So now we're gonna try our coffee with half a teaspoon of our pho bitters.
Pho bitters.
Or
Chai.
Chai bitters.
It smells really good. It smells like chai now. Actually, it still smells like pho.
I think,
Without the salt. The fish sauce.
let's try it. You try it first,
I
because
try it first?
this is the auntie cup, and I'm not an auntie.
It could be. My nephew's got me this cup. It's good. I
That's
don't
it?
taste anything.
Okay.
Hold on. Ah, it's very subtle.
Let me see.
So it's a good, like, very, maybe we need more. We need more. We were too safe that round.
I taste it.
You taste it? I taste the chai a little bit. Is it enough?
It's right now, so if you like black coffee, then this is perfect. You just have the essence of it. It doesn't change, it doesn't take away from the coffee flavor. But if you want more, then let's try another half.
Another half or a half of a half?
Oh, let's just do a half. At 1/2, it was very much like the essence. Like you had an aftertaste of this. It was like you just drank some pho or chai tea.
I could really smell the pho now. You taste it? Auntie?
Yeah,
Is it good?
it's good. Like it just
Ooh,
has
I
like
smell
that.
it a lot more now.
It's not like that flavor. It just has the essence of it. And it's not like, because it's like alcohol, it's not like sweet, right? It doesn't have a sweetness to it. So it's just flavor.
Yeah, it's good.
And the reason we were actually thinking about, we could probably put all those spices into the pour over and do that way, and that'll actually give us a result. But the thing is, like, if you guys ever use cinnamon, Cinnamon will it create this like
slime,
and it clogs the filter, and then you won't have any coffee to drink, which is really sad.
It's very sad.
So
we've done that through experience.
Yeah, unless you use other herbs, but cinnamon in particular.
So, in reference to the reason why we did this one, it's not in any way, shape, or form anything like the whiskey bourbon aged one we tasted at Regent. But this was how we got inspired by theirs and decided to see what we had at home and what kind of things we could do. This is what we made.
This is good.
Thanks for the inspiration, Regent. You like it?
Yeah, so it's like...
I'm kind of like curious what it would taste like with these flower ones.
Probably good. Like it just, like I said, it's just like the essence of that flavor in coffee, and so it's not overpowering. It's good. Very subtle, especially if you like non-sweet drinks. This is like perfect.
Yeah, I'm like pretty impressed with it. Do you have this cooling sensation in your mouth? It's like do you understand the word Mac? Cool. It feels
like Nook Mat.
Yeah.
Like cool water, like the cologne.
Yeah, sure.
I do because the cinnamon, or maybe it's the cardamom. Something kind of like sticks on your tongue, and it has this cooling sensation. Maybe in the future we'll like actually do a video making bitters. This is our first time, so it's like
I think
we
like
didn't know what we're doing.
I don't even know why I came across it. Why did we come across it?
Oh, it's because we bought bitters and they are super expensive, and then we're like, oh, we're too cheap to buy these bitters.
I think it was I was looking it up for like I was looking up a fancy bitters, and then a bitters recipe popped up. Cause I was like, man, I don't want those basic kinds. Like, why do they put like fake flavors in it? It's like I want something that's real. And so I think I Googled it and then found recipes, and I was like, what? You can make this stuff?
I just burped, and I had this very like fragrant smell.
That's attractive.
Come through my nose.
That's very attractive. If there's anything you would like us to try and get inspired, then required to try and make it.
What? That's not our slogan. We have our coffee adventures, and we also have our food adventures. Make sure you guys check out both of those. We have done only one food adventure so far, but we're definitely trying to do more.
Yep.
Maybe tacos, or possibly
some noodles. Well, something along those lines. Tacos, some noodles, something along those lines.
We shall catch you guys next time on the next coffee/food adventure,
where we try, get inspired, and then get required.
That's not our slogan.